as Morphegenix Podcast, I really love to interview people doing interesting things in the agriculture, agribusiness, as well as food industries. So it's really great to have you here. Yeah, what are the kind of questions that are important to someone who is wanting to purchase your consulting or purchase what you're essentially selling?
Well, at this, I like to keep my input costs and help the ranches that I work with keep their input costs to a minimum. I've worked with a lot of ranches that they've spent tens of thousands of dollars a year on herbicides and tens of thousands of dollars a year on conventional fertilizers. And I mean, it's just a recipe for very thin margins. I mean, the margins in the cattle industry are thin enough as they are to begin with. So anytime you can cut costs as in any industry, it's quite helpful. So not to mention, not just for cost, but, for your environment as well. I mean, spraying these same herbicides, expecting different results year after year is a kind of an insane type of situation. I worked on a lot of ranches where we would spray the same areas year after year after year. And I would say, well, we haven't replanted anything. We haven't put any seed down. Why do we expect anything different than these same weeds to grow back next year? And I had some pretty deep talks with the chemical, fertilizer salesmen, and God bless them. They came to the point where they told me that, well, we're here to sell you spray, and that's our job. And I said, well, God bless you for at least admitting that, but this is year 5 of us spraying the same field with these same weeds over and over and over again. And there's been no difference. The same weeds keep coming back. I said, does the spray make the seed dormant? And they said, well, no, of course the spray doesn't make the seed dormant. And I said, well, I can't help but notice that year in and year out, you wait to come out here and suggest that we spray these weeds until the seed's set. I said, so when I drive the tractor over it with the sprayer, I'm really knocking the seeds into the ground and really ramming them in there just to make sure they grow real well again next year. So, as far as my consulting ways go, I mean, I don't see weeds as weeds anymore. As I've evolved on my journey, I see weeds as they have some sort of nutritional value, and some of them are quite high in nutritional value for cattle. So it's all a matter of timing and understanding that if you group your cattle tighter with electric fence and intensive grazing type areas, and it takes time to understand specific weeds, but if you can get cattle to the area at the specific time that they want to eat those weeds, they'll be there, and and they'll eat them, and you won't have to do all this spray. And, I've done a little bit of trying with adding grass seed to our supplement mineral mix for the cattle, so the cattle actually eat the grass seed out of their supplements and minerals, and then through dung and feces, they're now not only are they fertilizing the area, but they're also seeding the area back on top of it. So as I get into these intensive grazing areas with where the weeds are at, I then make sure that even if I have to get out there just with a hand thrower and just, even on acreage, I mean, if you get a little seed spreader with a bag, you can cover a lot of acres just by yourself in a day. And then also, like I said, if you add the grass seed to the supplement mix, now every time the cattle have dung, you're also seeding the area as well. So back to your question, I'd like to do things in a more environmentally friendly way, in a more regenerative for the land way, and ultimately both sides of the coin. I like to knock the cost down as well.
Great.
Okay. Thank you so much for your time.
Likewise. Okay then.
Okay.
Thank you so much for watching. If you found this information useful, please click the like button, and please subscribe to receive new information from the food and agribusiness industry. Thank you. Goodbye.